Hello, my name is Hugo and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna do a review of a book called The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. It's been a while since I've done a in-depth review, so I thought I'd make another. Yeah, so I haven't done a lot of reviews, so keep that in mind. This won't be anything professional or something like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give a warning, full spoilers for Final Empire, the first one in the Mistborn trilogy, because I'm just gonna talk about it probably, and it's the second one, so you're probably here because you have already read the first one. And then I'm gonna do a small bit of spoiler free for this book, and then I'm gonna give another warning when I go into spoilers for The Well of Ascension. Okay, so first off, I want to say that I like this way more than Final Empire, and I loved Final Empire. So I hear from a lot of people that this one is the least good in the trilogy. I don't agree with that at all. Well, I haven't read the third one yet. But I already think it's way better than Final Empire, and I really loved Final Empire. So why do I think it's better? People complain about the pacing in this book and that it's too political, but I just like the fact that it's a bit political and that it's not just all fistfights. And the pacing, I thought this was actually better paced than Final Empire, because Final Empire had these scenes in the ballrooms or the throne rooms or whatever, the parties where Vin had to go to undercover as Valet Renault, the nobleman parties. And those were kind of boring as well, for me at least. Well, not really boring, but not very exciting to read or something. They were slow paced. So I think Final Empire had definitely some slow bits as well. While this one, this takes place after Final Empire. They defeated the Lord Ruler, and they have to deal with the aftermath. The aftermath is that there's an army around Luthadel, trying to take back the city from Elend Venture, who took his place as king of the Final Empire after they defeated the Lord Ruler in Final Empire. So, Elend's dad fled in Final Empire because he was a little bitch and he was scared, so he fled out of the city. And now he's trying to take the city back from his son. So that's about the plot, mostly. So there's this constant threat of an army outside the city, and I really like that fact. So that never made it really feel like a slow-paced book, because there was constantly a threat that someone was going to attack. And so I'm just gonna go into spoilers because I find it hard to go into this book without spoiling it. Maybe that's because it's the middle in a trilogy that you kind of have to talk about the plot. So I want to get into the relationship of Vin and Elend, which is maybe the thing that's most central in this book. I very much loved it. I think the one point of criticism I had for Final Empire was a relationship between Vin and Elend. I thought it was forced just to get some romance in there, and that wasn't necessary for me. And in this book, it's way more developed, and it has more, how do you say it, like not background, but it's way more substantial, I think the word is. It's just developed, and yeah, you feel for them and you want them to get together too. So that's another very good point. I think this one improved a lot on in comparison to the Final Empire. So a main thing with Elend is, I think Elend is one of my favorite characters now. He is so well developed, and he evolved so much from that cocky little brat that thought he was a modern philosopher of his time and that he was the best man on earth in Final Empire, to a well-developed king and then later emperor. Um, he started off as this insecure king who took the power of the city just because he was still there, and he was about the only nobleman that was still there. So he took the city, but he wasn't a good king. He was a good man, but not a good king, not a good leader. And then he goes on this training with what's her name again? The terrorist woman, Tindwell. So she trains him to become a better king, to be not, I don't want to say rude, but like firm and disciplined and charismatic maybe, just so that people listen to him and take him seriously. Because now they just talked over him and they didn't really listen to him a lot. So yeah, that was a lot of very good character development for Elend. Then we have Vin. Oh yeah, another, because I'm going over the characters. This book was way more character focused or character driven than Final Empire. Final Empire was more plot driven, and this one was more character driven, which is maybe why people don't like it as much, because I think most of the people prefer a plot driven book, and this was more character driven. So I kind of get it, but I like a character driven story. So so that brings me to Vin. And Vin is this girl. She's still a girl. She's like, what, 17 in this book? So she struggles with, well, I think it's PTSD. She struggles with, she has been abused. She has had not an easy life before she met Kelsier and the crew. She was used, she was abused, she didn't have it easy. So that shows in this book, and you see how she struggles still with trusting people. And Elend is about the only one she trusts, and even then, not entirely. She trusts him, but not in the sense of I can leave him alone and go away for a little bit, because she thinks he will definitely die if she is not there. She feels like she has to protect everyone. She's very protective over everyone, over Sazed, over Orser, over Elend, over just everyone. So, and then you have this dude called Zane, Straff's son, Elend's half brother, and he's a Mistborn too, and he was a bit mysterious in the beginning. I'll talk about him later. I'm dwelling off. Hang on. So while I think Vin is extremely badass in this book and very cool, I do think that I love Vin. Don't get me wrong, but I also don't love Vin. Don't want to say hate, but sometimes it was like, okay, Vin, we get it. You said this, and you know the answers. Just like, I want to be with Elend, but I don't deserve him. But I want to be with him, but I don't deserve him. But I do, and why wouldn't I deserve something like that? And this and that, and maybe I should go with Zane, who I have no idea who he even is. And it just didn't make sense to her even consider going with Zane, to me at least, because she was with Elend, and Elend was so good to her, and she could really trust him. And then she would just let Elend, she didn't obviously, but she was considering it, to drop Elend and go with Zane, just because he was a Mistborn. That was about the only thing they had in common. They were Mistborns, and they were kind of viewing them. Zane was definitely viewing himself as this. Vin, not so much, but still a bit. They were viewing themselves as weapons to others, as tools, instead of actual persons or human beings. I can get Zane's point, but not Vin, and not at all, actually. Ellen was constantly telling her, you need some rest, you need this, you need that. And Vin was the one who went out into the night and stood watch every single day, and so on, and so on. So I thought Vin was repeating herself for a bit when she was constantly saying things like, yeah, I don't deserve him, or I don't deserve love, or whatever. And then said something like, Vin, when are you going to start letting yourself loved, or something like that? I'm paraphrasing, but something like that. I thought that was a beautiful line by Sazed, who I really love too, by the way. So it's true. Like, Vin, come on. You have been with this crew for quite a while now. They would give their lives for you in an instant. So I still get it. Like, I still get what she has been through. Well, I don't get it, but I understand where she's coming from. That being said, it was a bit repetitive, her saying that over and over again. I don't know, I'm feeling like that's maybe a hot take or an unpopular opinion. I still love Vin though, don't get me wrong. Anyway, I'm rambling on about Vin. Just because I don't want to piss people off. Because, hey, Vin is the greatest character ever. Yeah, but she has flaws. Obviously. And yeah. So that was a bit of a complaint about Vin, but I still love her. She's badass and she can kick anyone's ass. So yeah, that's about Vin. Then my favorite character in the entire book was fucking mind blown when I found out. First, I thought it was Orser, the Kandra we saw in Final Empire, and his relationship with Vin was just so beautiful, so cute, so funny. Even I found myself regularly chuckling up when they were interacting with each other. Just sometimes Orser said something, and then Vin would be, no, Orser, it's not like that, it's like this. And then Orser would be, okay, mistress, if you want me to believe that, I shall believe it. And then Vin is like, no, you can believe whatever it is you want. No, that is not according to the contract, mistress. Things like that. So I really love their interaction. And then we have this mystery from who is the spy, who is the Kandra that took over someone's body. And I thought I had a few clues. At first I thought it was Clubs, like the older man. And then I thought it was that Captain Demo, but that was a bit too obvious, so I didn't really think it was him. And then I thought for sure it would be Doxson, like he wasn't an Allomancer and he was Kelsier's best friend. And I don't know, I just really thought it would be him because you wouldn't expect it. And then out of nowhere, the book slaps me in my face and just says, oh yeah, by the way, the spy, it's fucking Orser, and he's not Orser, it's another Kandra named Tensoon, and he's in contract with Zane. And I was like, motherfucker, no fucking way. But to be fair, I still love Tensoon, obviously, because it was him the whole time, it wasn't even Orser. So at first I felt bad, I was like, no, Orser, but then again it was like, wait, I don't care about Orser. He didn't really have a big role in Final Empire, or a very emotional role, or something like that. So yeah, my mind was blown when I found out it was Orser. Tensoon. Yeah, Orser was a spy, but it was Tensoon. And then he saved Vin's line, because otherwise, without Tensoon, Vin would definitely be dead. And he violated the contract he had with Zane. So that was kind of a big deal for him to do. So I really love Tensoon, and he's my favorite character of the entire book. So I really hope he returns to The Hero of Ages, the third book. Okay, sorry, my battery died and I had to plug it in, but this is as far as I can go from the... Oh. Okay, I plugged it in my PC. It's standing on my PC, so it's not perfect right now, and it's the angle is slightly off. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just glad I didn't drop my fucking phone. Anyway, where was I think? Yeah, I talked about Tensoon, right? I love him. Okay. Then, Zane. I don't know how to feel about Zane. He was kind of mysterious in the beginning, and I liked the suspense of it. But I don't know. I get why he is how he is. Obviously, he didn't have it easy either. He had his fair share in life, but I don't know. He didn't make a lot of sense. And first, it made sense that it didn't make sense because he was insane, and people who are insane don't make sense. But then, right before he died, the voice in his head said, "Funny thing is, you're not insane." I was like, "What does that mean? Does that still mean he's insane because it was actually a voice that said to him, 'You're not insane'?" Yeah. I don't know how to feel about Zane. He was pretty cool, like how powerful he was and things like that, and how little he cared about what Straff Ventures said to him. So he was pretty cool, but I also didn't like him. And I think the thing is, what I didn't like was his relationship with Vin, because Vin, she cares too much about him than she should have, in my opinion, at least. Yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense to me. She was actually considering to dropping Ellen and going away with Zane, and I don't know, it just that felt off. That didn't feel like Vin. That she would just abandon her people like that and go with some stranger that she has no idea who it is, and yeah, didn't make sense. Like, the only thing they had in common was literally that he was a Mistborn. That's about it. So yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. Okay, then I want to talk about that final act. Well, because holy fuck. Okay, then I want to. Okay, then I thought. Okay, then I want to talk about that final act because holy mother of God, that was intense. It's like what? Let me check. So, it wasn't the final part. That was cool too. But yeah, part 5, Snow and Ash, which starts at page 609. And from page 609, I read it in one sitting to the end, and that may not sound as that much because it's like 760 pages, so it's like 160 pages in one sitting, but for me it's a lot because I don't usually, most of the time it's like 50, 60 pages at most, and then I stop for a while. But I read that one in one sitting, which is a big deal. And I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. It was so intense. The grand battle they had with the Colossus in the city was so cool and so well written. I really pictured it like a fucking grand, massive motion picture movie. And yeah, it was. I can't wait to watch an adaptation of that battle at one day, because that's gonna be cool if it's done well, at least. So we see first the people that are still in Luthadel, so Ham, the thug, and then Breeze, the soother, and Sazed, and Tindwall, and Doxon, and Clubs, and all the gang. And they have their army of, what was it? 20,000 people, I think? I'm not sure. So, and then the Kolos attack, which are these monster creatures, something like that. And they're massive and really strong, and they have no moral whatsoever, and they just want to kill. That's why they're there. They don't want to take over the city, they just want to kill. So, yeah. But Sazed told Vin and Ellen to take Spook with them, who is like the younger one of the crew, to search for the Well of Ascension up in the north. But Sazed lied, obviously. He just wanted to get Vin out of there and make sure she would still be alive after the battle, which I do get. But when we get to the end, it was like, Sazed, why in the fuck did you do that? You ruined everything. And I love Sazed, but yeah, that was a mistake. You shouldn't have done that. He should have let Vin made that decision for herself, because the battle was not going well. They were losing, and Sazed, they all had like there are different gates in the city, and they all had to guard over one gate. And we see Breeze, like manipulating the emotions of his own army to make them feel more confident and that they wouldn't run and keep fighting, and trying to soothe the Colossus, but that didn't work. And then when his gate falls, he hides like a coward, but understandably, because if he wouldn't have hidden, if he wouldn't have hidden himself, he would be dead, and that wouldn't really have helped anyone. So some may see him like a coward, but I think most people would react the way that Breeze did. So I still love Breeze. He's my favorite character from the crew, together with Ham. So, and then Ham's gate fell too, but he took part of his army, I believe, and tried to fall back. But then the king, not Elrond, but Penrod, I believe, wouldn't let them in because it would endanger the people that are already inside the other gates. That was kind of a dick move, but again, understandable as a king. Again, also not understandable. Anyway, so they were losing, and Sazed was holding a gate as well, and his gate was the last to fall. And he had a good fight. He's not a warrior. He said so himself many times, but he's strong. He's very strong. So he tapped on all his metal thingies and fought like a hero. And then I really thought he was going to die. I had a feeling that Vin was going to show up, but I had a feeling she was going too late. I had a feeling she was going to be able to hold Sazed in her arms and say goodbye or something like that. But Sazed lived. Thank God for that. So yeah, Vin returns when she discovered that Sazed lied to them, and that the Well of Ascension, well, she feels a well pulling towards her or something. So she runs with a pewter drag back towards Luthadel. She fights, and she finds a way to take control over the Colossus and make them do whatever she wants them to do. Because she discovered that's what the Lord Ruler did, because he created them, but he also needed a way to control them, that they wouldn't take over his reign. So, and then she discovered how, together with Duralumin, which is a cool medal, by the way. So yeah, Vin comes back, and then she pretty quickly, actually, she slaughtered a lot of them at first, but then she discovered how to do it. And then you actually know, well, if she was there the entire time, a lot of bloodshed would have been prevented, and Doxon would be alive, and Clubs would be alive. And by the way, really sad that they are gone, but I really like that an author is not scared to killing some characters off, because otherwise it all becomes very predictable and things like that. So I really liked it, but I hated it because I love them. But yeah, I think you get what I mean. What was I saying again? Yeah, and then Vin comes back, and then you realize, well, if she never left, like, says that you should have thought about that better. You're a very wise man. You should have trusted Vin a little bit more, that she would survive. Even though the city may have fallen, Vin would probably get out of there alive. You could have made sure that Elrond was gone, that you had like a diplomatic figure, like in your back pocket, but Vin should have been there to fight. She's the best warrior you have in the entire city, and you let her go. So I didn't really like that fact. So they win the battle, and Vin epically fucking kills Stravenger, and he's like, oh, what's that? Is it a plane? Is it a bird? Oh no, it's fucking Vin. Boom, dead. Oops. So yeah, that's all very cool. And then we have like an epilogue part, something like that. And Vin discovers the Well of Ascension, and something kills or makes an attempt to kill Elend, and then Vin steps into the Well of Ascension, and she is there with a dilemma, and she can take the power and save Elend. I'm very sorry about the notifications. She can take the power and save Elend, or she can leave the power as it is and sacrifice Elend and not destroy the world. That's what she thinks. So she sacrifices Elend, which she shouldn't have done, because then the power of the Well of Ascension and the deepness or something has been set free and is roaming the world there. And that's probably what we're going to see in the third one. And then she tries to save Vin, because the spirit is showing her things, and Vin tries to save Elend, and then the spirit shows her this medal or something, and he downs it with a vial of the medals Vin had, and she could like pull on or detect with the copper thing, that he was burning metal and Elend was burning pewter. So I guess Elend is a thug now, or maybe even Mistborn. I forgot about that. Was he Mistborn, or was he just a thug? Hang on. Okay, yeah. So Elend is a Mistborn. I forgot about that. So yeah, Ellen is a Mistborn now, and she discovers that she can make Mistborns now. And I don't know how that is going to turn out in the last one. Maybe she's gonna turn Breeze and Ham into Mistborn too. I have no clue, and I don't want to know, so please don't spoil it in the comments. And yeah, I'm very excited for the third one. I definitely give this 5 stars out of 5 stars. It's way better than Final Empire, I believe, and I gave that one 5 stars as well. Which right now I might rethink that one and give it like 4.5, just because I really think this was a lot better than Final Empire. So yeah, there you go. That was my review. It went on for a long time. I apologize. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book, and I can't wait for the third one. 5 out of 5, definitely. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought about this book. And yeah, we can chat about it. I'm very excited to read the third one. Yeah, sorry about all the different camera angles and the chaos, but yeah, it is what it is. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe for more stuff like this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Bye bye guys.